Welcome to the next episode of Hustle and Heir. We're your host, Nena.
And Mimi.
And we're glad you're joining us once again for episode 4 called Blackity Black Black Black. Over the last few years, February has been coined Black History Month. And we want to salute all the wonderful Black women and men out there that have been doing the damn thing all year long.
We salute you.
There's been historical events, lots of speaking engagements, and great art exhibits that you can check out throughout the entire city and beyond. Those are all very important to truly highlight the accomplishments of African Caribbean, Black Canadians, and their contributions to North America.
It's amazing, sis.
It is amazing.
It just makes me so proud.
Totally.
To be a Black woman.
Amazingly
I
proud.
wouldn't change it for anything else.
I would never change it for the world.
And having the opportunity to see our people grow is completely amazing. Our evolution has been so dope. We've moved from seeing Black as something negative to seeing the magic in our melanin.
Black girl magic.
Black and proud.
Black boy joy.
Unapologetically Black.
Completely.
Blackity black black.
I personally wanted to just highlight some of the great achievements of inventors that have come before us, come before our time, paved the way. I feel like we built this city. Many cities.
Lots of cities.
Lots
of cities.
We could be here all day on the cities.
All day.
But just to highlight a few, so the very first inventor that I'm going to talk about.
Tell us, sis.
Is Michael Duck. He is a African Canadian, Nova Scotian born inventor. And guess what, y'all? You probably all have had his invention 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day.
Double.
Right? It is called the shear shot dispensing system. It is used all over this great land in every single country. For us wonderful people here in Toronto and in Canada in general, Tim Hortons is a major user of his invention, along with Starbucks, Dunkin' Donut, and Krispy Kreme outlets.
Although not necessarily confirmed, we assume that they're also using the Sure Shot dispensary machine.
We assume.
Because it's a smart thing to do.
But we have under good
authority
that we sure they using Mr. Duck's invention for sure. And of course, we gotta love it. Kudos to him for thinking of something so fabulous, so amazing. Something every day that you need, right? I've used it. I've used the Sure Shot.
And I heard he was waiting in line to get a coffee, and every time he ordered the coffee, it was like a little too much cream or a little too little cream. See? And he was like, there must be a way to make sure that I'm getting the exact same thing every time.
I love it. This is who we are.
We just fix, solutions for everyday problems.
We are a solution-based community.
We are.
And I love it.
And it's inspiring because it could be us.
Exactly. We could have that moment in a line, on a plane, in a classroom, at work, where we could just completely change everything.
Yo, if there's a problem, we're gonna solve it.
And then number 2, moving on to another great invention, and we're gonna really like this one. Mary Beatrice Davidson. Now, I hope that rings a bell. If it doesn't, this brilliant woman developed the sanitary belt napkin, which we call the pad today. Mary's invention was initially rejected because of her racial discrimination, but 30 years later, imagine that, 30 years later, 1956, it was accepted. This is a true testament, guys. Stay the course. No matter what, no matter the obstacles that get into your way, one day you will be recognized for the wonderful hard work that you do, not only for yourself, but for the community. She received 5 patents for her household inventions, one being the bathroom tissue holder, which she co-invented with her sister. Thank you, Mary, for looking out for the ladies. And last but not least is Mary Van Britten Brown. So now Mary is a full-time nurse. So she's in the medical field. She's definitely thriving in that field, and one day realizes there's a need, right? There's a need for security.
Again, going back to just a needs-based solution, right?
Absolutely. And what happened is Mary decided to invent the first ever home security system that was used in North America.
That's pretty dope.
That's dope.
Especially because sometimes women and members of equity-seeking communities, especially Black, are not necessarily credited for being technologically advanced.
Exactly.
Look at that. We've got proof that we've been thinking about technology long before it was popular.
Oh, 100%. I mean, she thought of it all. Cameras, monitors, microphones, peepholes. She had the whole thing figured out. And we want to salute her. And we want to salute the many inventors that we didn't get a chance to honor today as we discuss Black History Month. And the importance of going out there and continuing to be inventors. Think with your inventing cap on. Always think about, what can I do next? How can I make this better? How can I be the solution-based inventor of my ancestors?
And you know, inventions are kind of like businesses as well, right? So he invented the Sure Shot machine. He was working as an entrepreneur before that. So we have, you know, a short list of some entrepreneurs in Toronto that we also want to shout out as well, because they came up with some solutions for everyday problems. Some are hair, some are food, some are financial, aesthetics. We are out here, jewelry, just, you know, solving everyday problems for everyday people.
Absolutely.
We've challenged ourselves to buy Black because we want to continue to support our people and the businesses, you know, that they have created.
Absolutely.
And as a community, the way that we're going to grow is to continue to support each other. Now, it's hard. How hard is it? It is hard. It's a big
so hard.
Didn't you need to get your nails done the other
Girl,
day?
I needed to get my nails done the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm supporting Black, and I had to make phone calls. I had to research, but at the end of it all, I found a Black business.
And your nails are fire.
I found a Black nail tech. And she's amazing. She's bomb. And I felt so good. It felt so good. I mean, we have to also remember that it's not going to be easy. A lot of us are just getting businesses off the ground, you know, trying to find ways to coexist with, you know, the big businesses that have already been established over years. But stay strong, stay the course. It felt really good to buy Black. It felt really good to pay into Black. And I'm going to continue to definitely go to my girl. Shout out Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
And I want to push myself to continue to buy Black. And we're pushing you guys. It's a challenge. Go beyond February. Every month is Black History Month.
Every month. 365 days a year. So one of my favorite places to go to, Barrel's Red Pepper Pot in Pickering.
Girl.
They make the best oxtail in the city.
Do they really?
Yes, and the reason I love that spot is because they have the takeout and the dine-in experience.
So tell us, how do we find them? Are they on Instagram? Do they have a .com? Like, what's the best way to kind of locate them?
Well, Google them.
Okay.
They have a great website.
Awesome.
Everything is listed.
Cool.
And the service is
amazing.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, absolutely
I'll have to
amazing.
try it out then.
You know, I find that when we do things well.
Right.
You know, there may be some, you know, outliers in our experiences sometimes.
Of course, there's always going to be.
Always. But generally, are we not the most educated?
The most.
The most creative?
Number one.
The most stylish?
The most revered? The most envied?
Okay.
The most copied?
The most imitated people out here.
Should we keep going?
Let's go to church. Tell the people.
But it's so important that we have this self-love within ourselves, within our community, and we just radiate with that. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great thing. I think because of that is what attracts people to us so much.
Absolutely.
We love life. We love culture. We love food.
Yes.
We love color.
All of it.
We live in color.
We are color.
But
what else we have on this list?
Well, also on this list, you know, in in the efforts of looking for a nail tech and just hairstyling, aesthetics, massage therapy, and of course we all love a good massage. But I want to shout out Aesthetics by Ada. Aesthetics by Ada. She takes
Is she
care
Nigerian?
She is Nigerian.
Jeez.
Woo woo.
Yes to our people.
Yes to our girl. I had to shout her out. She does hairstyling. She's an esthetician and she also does massage therapy. So hit her up. She's on Instagram. She'd be happy to take care of all of your needs.
And tell us we sent you.
Next, I want to talk about finance. And I mean, that's a big one, right?
Huge money and getting all of our money in order.
Exactly. Somebody who's really going to take care of you and pay attention to your needs and really have that one-on-one conversation. Hit up our girl, Akila Allen Silverstein. She's a financial planner here in the Toronto and GTA area. Again, she could definitely be Googled. And if you want us to leave her information along with Aesthetics by Ada, please let us know. We'll do that in the comments for you so that they're both easy to find. And last but not least, just on the umbrella of food, because you know us Black people love a good dish here and there.
With seasoning.
Salt, pepper, and everything in between.
Everything. Put your foot in it type of food.
Put your neck on that food,
yes.
Okay? I want to shout out Sugar Cane Restaurant. Great Caribbean restaurant on the Danforth. And it's awesome, that area. It's great for the east. It's great for the west. It's a nice central location that everyone can get to. So they serve Caribbean and Cajun cuisine.
So good.
Just the word Cajun, I'm there.
Already there.
You got me. Hook,
There.
line, and sinker.
Yes, and if you want more places to visit, whether it's food, whether it's parties, whether it's the arts, make sure to follow Afro Social Centric on Instagram. They are the go-to place for all things Afro related in the GTA and beyond. So hit them up on Instagram at Afro Social Centric. Stay connected, people. Stay connected.
So we've talked a little bit about the inventors. We've talked a little bit about the people that have paved the way for us. We've talked a bit about buying Black, making it through the struggle and sticking to it and being able to really put your dollars where your mouth is.
Just kind of going back to this whole Blackity black. Who else can really talk about that experience other than people who have lived it?
Yeah.
We have lived it.
Totally.
And we are now at the point where, like you said earlier, we're not shy about celebrating these achievements,
Who we are,
and these accomplishments.
what we stand for.
Anybody out there, if you have somebody that, we need to be put on, tell us in the comments, because we're happy to continue these discussions further. I think one of the best things ever I've experienced as an adult is that awakening of being Black and proud. I have a hat that says Black on it, and I wear that.
Does.
I wear that in the office sometimes.
With pride, as you should.
With absolute pride.
We have, gone are the days where you have to be apologetic for being who you are.
Exactly.
We have to, walk in our light, stand in our light, and understand that people aren't going to always understand who you are unless you tell them. You have to narrate the story.
Make your own narrative.
Right? You have to create the path, the road, and that will bring people in. And I always like to say constructive questions about who you are as a person, your culture, where you come from, are all very important because we want to educate.
We learn through sharing.
You do. You absolutely do. We want to educate and let the people know that we don't have to be this mythical, magical community that no one can speak to and no one can kind of connect with. We want to be seen as friendly. We want to be seen as open. We want to be seen as approachable.
Yeah.
Both, in our day-to-day and in our work. I know that, as corporate women, we have been in many situations where I want to bring out a little bit more than just my blackity black, honey.
Listen.
Just a little blackity black, top black.
if they only knew
how quick I could turn
Listen,
that up.
they're like, be yourself at work.
Girl.
Could you even handle all this?
I'm 2% of myself at work, and that's 2% too much.
Hey.
Okay? 2% too much. But no, we want to get to a space where we can completely be ourselves and not feel like, and I know people could probably relate to this, feeling like you got to be at the Oscars every day. Okay? You're on a stage. Mimi, let me know.
Hello.
Tell me.
Listen, I think it's a challenge for all of us.
Yeah.
And you're right, about bringing ourselves to work and how maybe they could handle us, maybe they can't. But we're not going to take that risk.
We're not going to take that risk.
We out here trying to stay employed, right?
We got to get that
We're trying
coin.
to secure that bag.
Get that coin, right?
Yes.
We can't risk that.
No, but, the best way to continue to shine is by creating our own. If you work in marketing, start your own consulting firm. If you work in HR, start your own business.
If you're a doctor or a nurse, start your own practice. Or a dentist, start your own practice.
Start your own.
Tell us about it. We'll make sure that we come and support. We'll make sure that everybody knows that you're open and where you are. And that's the only way for us to build wealth within the community. We have to keep the dollars in. Another big thing that I try to do now to buy black is giving my money to black owned hair stores or beauty stores. And that is probably the biggest major challenge that we have going forward as a community.
How can we are the billion-dollar industry.
And none of it is flowing through our communities.
Why don't we own these stores?
No idea. Every time I walk into one, I'm like, this is absurd. There's just no way. There is no one else giving our economical dollars to this industry that more than anybody else. We are the top, the number one. We should own this. We should regulate it. Everything should flow through us. The rules, how it's sold, what we sell, how these things look, how we're advertised towards. But it's not. And that's something that we have to reclaim. We got to take that back.
We got to
stop it and reclaim it.
Taking it back.
That's going to be the mantra for 2020.
Taking it back.
Because like we said, Black History Month, Black Month, but being Blackity, black, that is all year. We know that this magic does not end on February 29th, ladies. It just grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and the shine gets bigger and bigger and better. And we want to leave you with that. Think about this as you go forth into the next couple of months. Think about all the ways that you can yourself contribute to buying black. And tell us about it. We want to hear about it. We want to hear about the difficulties. We want to hear about the struggles. We want to hear about the wins. We want to hear about the victories. And share. Tell us about some of the interesting community events, black businesses, entrepreneurs that are getting off the ground that we can share in some of our later podcasts and even in some of our social media. We want to hear all about it. Isn't that right, Meme?
We want to hear it all.
Yeah, for sure. Because we want to support. It's important. And we wanted to just take this opportunity to shout everybody out. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. You're being seen. And great job.
We also just want to take a moment to recognize Katherine Johnson, who passed away February 24th. Many of you may know her as the NASA employee who the movie Hidden Figures was partially based on. Her role was played by Taraji P. Henson. Miss Johnson was an employee whose contributions were critical to the success of the first and subsequent U.S. crewed space flights.
Amazing.
That was a fantastic movie.
I know, I loved it. It was such a good movie.
So inspiring. Looking at what they had to endure, what they had to go through just to be heard, just for their work to be recognized was absolutely incredible. And when I get frustrated at work sometimes, I remember what they had to go through.
Yeah, and she lived a long, full life. That's amazing.
101.
That's crazy.
Can we be so blessed, though?
And look at that melanin.
Popping.
Snapped.
Doesn't look a day over 60.
Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Miss Catherine.
Yes.
You will be missed.
Thank you so much for listening. We're glad that you were able to share this time with us.
Leave us a great review, share,
and follow us on Instagram at Hustle and Air.
Our podcast is currently available on Apple, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Great show.
Listen, I've never been prouder to be Black in my life.
I'm so blackity black.
Blackity black.
Melanin magic.
When we talk about the seat at the table,
we created the seed.
We created it.
We forgot we created the seed. Look at all these great inventors.
So black.
Listen. So important.